guess how the Saturn V took us to the moon.
Imagine a time when the answers to life's questions didn't live in your pocket. When curiosity meant grabbing your coat and walking down to the library, not typing into a little glowing screen. Back then, finding answers took time and heart. People learned by asking neighbors, flipping through dusty encyclopedias, or experimenting in their garages until something finally worked. It was slower, sure, but it brought people together. Every discovery came with a story, a cup of coffee shared, and maybe a few laughs along the way. Today, we're rewinding to those wonderful pre-Google days, the 1900s and mid-century era, when people had 10 clever, hands-on ways to solve problems, learn new things, and build entire lives without the internet, calculators, or smartphones. Each method was slower, yes, but richer, and somehow a little more magical. One, the local library, the original search engine. Before Google, the local library was where curiosity lived. Rows of oak shelves, the faint smell of books, and the gentle squeak of a librarian's shoes created an atmosphere of quiet wonder. You'd pull open the wooden drawers of a card catalog, trace your finger along the alphabetized cards, and follow them to your answer, if you were lucky. Librarians were the human search engines of their day. If you didn't know what you were looking for, they somehow always did. Small-town libraries weren't just buildings, they were community centers where farmers, students, and homemakers came to learn and dream. In an age of instant results, the library gave something precious, the thrill of discovery and the beauty of patience. To asking the old-timers, the original experts, every town had a few wise ones. Maybe it was the man who fixed every broken thing on the block, or the woman who could make a dress out of old curtains. You'd show up with your problem, and they'd help, often after telling you a story that started with, "Well, back in my day." These people didn't need degrees. Their knowledge came from experience and time. In rural towns, advice passed through porches, barber shops, and general stores. A loose hinge, they'd show you how to fix it with a butter knife. Garden pests, they had tricks passed down from their grandparents. Their answers weren't instant, but they stuck with you for life. 3 newspapers and almanacs. Google, printed weekly. Before the internet, answers arrived in your mailbox. The Farmer's Almanac told families when to plant, harvest, and fish. City dwellers flipped to Ask and Landers, or Hints from Hello Eyes, for everyday advice. Every week, people clipped useful tips and saved them in drawers for future use, recipes, cleaning tricks, or how to fix a leaky faucet. You didn't scroll for updates. You waited for the next issue. It made knowledge feel precious. Those crinkled pages connected families across America. Even today, you can still find them tucked in kitchen drawers or folded in old cookbooks, a reminder that once upon a time, learning came in ink and paper, not pixels and pop-ups. For trial and error, the hands-on teacher. Before video tutorials and step-by-step guides, there was trial and error. People learned by doing, sometimes by breaking things first. If the toaster stopped working, you took it apart. If the fence fell down, you tried building it again. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. Garages smelled of sawdust, oil, and curiosity. This learn-by-doing mindset created a generation of tinkerers, inventors, and do-it-yourself dreamers. The 1950s handyman wasn't just fixing things, he was learning, experimenting, and taking pride in the process. Mistakes weren't failures, they were lessons. In a world without YouTube, the workshop was your classroom, and every splinter or spark taught you something new. 5 teachers and encyclopedias, the real-life Wikipedia. When kids had big questions in the 1940s or 50s, they didn't reach for a screen. They turned to their teachers or the family encyclopedia. Those thick, shiny World Book volumes were a point of pride. Families often bought them on payment plans, 1 volume at a time. You'd flip through the pages together, staring at color photos of volcanoes, whales, or the solar system. Teachers, meanwhile, were walking encyclopedias themselves, trusted, patient, and full of stories. Today, information is easier to get but harder to feel connected to. Those old encyclopedias taught patience, curiosity, and the quiet joy of learning something new with the people you love. 6 community workshops, learning together. In the mid-century days, problem solving wasn't a solo project. It was something you did together. Local workshops, Grange halls, and church basements hosted sewing circles, carpentry nights, and radio repair classes. Neighbors gathered to share what they knew. Someone brought coffee. Someone else brought cookies. There were no experts hiding behind usernames, just regular folks helping one another figure life out. If you didn't know how to fix something, someone nearby did. It wasn't just about learning skills, it was about building connections. Those warm, noisy workshops reminded people that community was the best classroom of all. 7 mail-order lessons, the slow internet. Before online courses, people learned by mail. Companies like Sears or Montgomery Ward sent thick catalogs and instruction booklets that taught everything from home repair to bookkeeping. You could even enroll in correspondence schools. Lessons arrived by post. You studied, mailed back your answers, and waited weeks for feedback. It was slow, but deeply rewarding. You learned at your own pace, and when that envelope finally arrived, it felt like Christmas morning. These guides helped ordinary people master new skills, start businesses, or fix what broke. Today, we click download. Back then, you waited, studied, and worked with your hands, and that made every lesson count. 8 radio and early TV, the first how-to channels. Before podcasts and YouTube, people tuned into radio programs and early TV shows to learn. In the 1940s, homemakers listened to Hints for the Handyman or The Homemaker's Hour for tips on cooking, cleaning, and fixing things. By the 1950s, black and white TV brought those lessons right into the living room. Families sat around the set, jotting notes as a friendly host demonstrated how to fix a leaky faucet or bake perfect bread. It was learning made warm and personal, one human voice guiding another. And though the static's gone, that same comforting tone lives on today. In every friendly YouTube tutorial, 9 observation and common sense, the forgotten skill. Before algorithms told us what to do, people trusted their senses. Farmers read the sky to predict the weather. Parents knew a storm was coming by the smell of rain. Mechanics could tell what was wrong with an engine just by listening. This was practical intelligence, intuition built from years of paying attention. You didn't need data, you needed experience. In the early 1900s, observation wasn't just a skill, it was survival. Today, with everything automated, we've lost a bit of that instinct. But deep down, it's still there, that quiet knowing that sometimes the best teacher is simply life itself. 10 word of mouth, the human algorithm. Before Yelp or Google reviews, people trusted one thing, each other. You went to a doctor because a neighbor recommended him. You tried a diner because your cousin said it had the best pie in town. Word spread face to face, over fences and phone calls. Reputation was gold, and advice was personal. You didn't scroll through reviews, you trusted someone's story. Sure, it wasn't always accurate, but it built community. Every recommendation came with a little connection, a shared laugh, a sense of belonging. In a world obsessed with 5-star ratings, word of mouth reminds us that trust once came from hearts, not algorithms. Today, we can find answers in seconds, but we've lost something along the way. Back then, knowledge came slower, but it meant more. You had to earn it with patience, curiosity, and conversation. Libraries, neighbors, and tinkers built a world where learning wasn't about getting it fast, it was about getting it together. Progress has made life easier, but maybe a little lonelier too. The old ways, asking for help, figuring things out with your hands, or just taking time, reminded us that knowledge was a journey, not a click. What's your favorite old school way of learning? Did your parents or grandparents ever teach you something you couldn't find online? Share your memory below, and don't forget to subscribe to Back Then with Ben, our small nostalgic channel keeping yesterday's stories alive.